Additional FlexiLayouts. Let's look at a project utilizing an additional FlexiLayout. That means an additional FlexiLayout that executes after the main layout, and it can be used to capture additional fields. So we're inside of a batch with an image, and I can go ahead and take a look at the data that's been collected. So no big surprises or problems here. But what we want to go after is the cost center, and that's the data right here. So what we can do is actually export an additional FlexiLayout. So under the Tools menu, you can click Export Batch to FlexiLayout Studio. And I've already done that. Let's go take a look. So what we can see here is logic that collects the data that you would expect. So you can even look through here and see that we've got logic for finding the different out-of-the-box data. But we've also added a field here in this custom search elements group, and this is cost center from dataset. And likewise, we've already created a block called cost center from dataset. So this is not an offering that's out of the box. The possible values for cost center from dataset, this field, are received, those values are received from our FlexiCapture for Invoices dataset containing cost center data. So we've got logic here to capture a new field, but we could also create a block, say called invoice date, and add FlexiLayout logic to get the invoice date. And then what would happen is in our FlexiCapture for Invoices project, the main layout, which I like to call the Uber layout, would fire off, and it would use its own logic to find the invoice date. But then my logic for this additional FlexiLayout would override that logic. So if I created a block called invoice date and had my own logic here and map that block, I can control even fields that are out of the box. But usually people use this feature to add fields that aren't out of the box. So now we'll return to our FlexiCapture project, and we'll go to the document definition properties, and we'll go to the FlexiLayout tab. And here's an additional FlexiLayout section where we can actually load our FlexiLayout. So I'll click load, and then I'll navigate to the folder, and I'll import the AFL file. So that's a common thing in FlexiLayout Studio. Whether you're using an additional FlexiLayout or just any old layout that you need to get into your document definition, you export that FlexiLayout's logic into an AFL file. So this is a familiar practice. We'll go ahead and ingest that. And notice what happened. We have a new field that just got added. This wasn't here a second ago. Cost center from dataset. And if we scroll down in our data form, we'll see down here at the very end, there's cost center from dataset, and we can relocate that if we would like to. So next, I'll save my document definition, and then I'll close my document definition, and then I'll go ahead and publish it. And in a working batch, this is kind of a handy feature. You can see when your document in your batch is outdated. It doesn't match your latest document definition. So I can bring it up to speed by clicking Tools, Re-Recognize, and we will take a look at what the results are. So we'll open this up and we'll scroll down, and sure enough, it was able to locate the cost center from dataset right there. This is a very useful feature and capability, and I just want to reiterate that this is applicable to all vendor documents. So if you have to capture some data that's possibly existing in all your vendors, you can just create one additional Flexi layout in this manner and go after capturing that data using techniques that you already know about in FlexiLayout Studio.